Drunken Tiger, Yoonmirae, and Bizzy singing The Cure, which some of you may or may not be familiar with, but let me tell you what it's about and why I'm hesitant. Because the song The Cure is a song that he wrote after he lost his dad. Okay? And if I remember correctly, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, but he wrote the song after he lost his dad to cancer. So when I learned that, I was like, ooh, because I'd be curious to see like how he's processing through that when I went through something similar. He wrote the song when his dad had cancer. That's right. And then I think it was some time later that he lost his dad. Okay. Cure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for correcting me. It's a tribute. So this is from 2013. September. You got some lyrics here. Drunken Tiger, Yoonmirae, and Bizzy, The Cure. Now remember, let me correct what I said because I was wrong. This is after he finds out that his dad is diagnosed. So his dad has cancer at this point.
They say 항상 밝게 웃는 난 아픈 따윈 모른대 내 맘은 울고 있는데 Oh but I say 밝게 웃는 내 맘속엔 어두운 그늘에 가려진 난 그런 내가 싫지만 슬픈 내 맘은 웃게 될 거야
매일 돌아오는 새벽밤은 나의 벗 혼자 있는 내가 외로울까 와 있어 헤어짐은 이유 없이 눈물이 차있어 갑자기 이유 없이 옛사랑에 차였던 밤하늘 바라보며 눈물을 참았던 바보같이 울지 못해 눈물을 삼켰던 매일 돌아오는 새벽밤은 나의 벗 혼자 있는 내가 외로울까 와 있어 매일 돌아오는 새벽밤은 나의 벗 혼자 우는 내가 외로울까 와 있어 너 없는 여기에는 시간도 멈춰 있어 멀리 가지만 너 거기서 제발 기다려줘 너 거기에 서 있어 여기서 혼자 새벽방 안속 미치겠어 너가 우는 싫어 만들어준 머그컵이 깨졌어 내 손에 박혀 피가 나 근데 왜 난 널 탓할까
It's a cold cold world out there Sometimes I feel as if nobody cares I'm down 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 Can somebody save me now It's a cold cold world out there Sometimes I feel as if nobody cares I'm down 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 Can somebody save me now 힘들어도 I gotta get up Don't give up now
슬픈 내 맘도 언젠가 웃게 될 거야 yeah. 매일 돌아오는 아침에는 나의 벌 혼자 있는 내가 외로울까 날 비춰 해주면 새들은 하늘 위로 날개쳐 가끔 새들도 할 수 없이 날겠지 가끔 나도 몰라 내가 뭔 말하는지 하지만 어디 누군가 내 맘을 알겠지 매일 돌아오는 아침에는 날 비춰줘 yeah. I gotta get up to stand up 매일 돌아오는 아침에는 나의 벗 혼자 우는 내가 외로울까 날 비춰 너를 만나기 전으로 돌아가고파 모든 게 행복했던
와우.
내가 아주 어릴 적 너를 떠나보낸 이유를 아직 넌 모르지 걷는 것도 힘든 나를 넌 알고 있는지 너를 찾아가 저 지구 반대편도 멀지 않아 멋지 않아 나는 널
It's a
갖겠죠
cold, cold world out there. Sometimes I feel as if nobody cares. I'm down,
Wow.
down, down. Can somebody save me now? It's a cold, cold world out there. Sometimes I feel as if nobody cares. I'm down, down, down. Can somebody save me now? 힘들어도 I gotta get up.
Gotta get up now
Don't give up now.
슬픈 내 맘도 언젠가 웃게 될 거야 yeah.
힘들어도 I gotta get up.
Gotta get up now
Don't give up now.
슬픈 내 맘도 이제
Wow.
웃게 될 거야.
Wow, that was really powerful. Wow. Man, I didn't know what to do with that. Oh, man. Whew. Wow. Damn, that was good. Man, there was so much. There's so much good stuff in this. There's so much good stuff. How many of you noticed? Let's see here. Oh, first of all, Yoonmirae is Tasha, right? I feel like I'm remembering that right. That's Tasha. Her voice is just perfect in this. It's so perfect. And you know what's really clever about this? Bizzy and Jake and Tiger JK, they both have lyrics that are expressing the journey. But Tasha's voice through the entire thing and her facial expressions are always a home point for hope. Always. From the very beginning to in the middle, when we're in the middle, like we're in the depth of it, and then all the way down to the end, where it starts to pick back up into the hope, right? Oh, she's so fantastic. Oh. 밝게 웃는 내 맘속엔 어두운 그늘에 가려진 난 그런 내가 싫지만 슬픈. See, and a lot of these lyrics, this is what I said, there's so much in this song, and some of the rap lyrics went really fast, so it's hard to grab all of them, but even so, there were so many things that stuck out as so powerful. And I know because some of you are talking about it in the chat that you've lost somebody that you care about. A lot of this is like, oh man, like they're naming something that you have experienced in that journey, right? So, like this next line. My sad heart will smile someday. Like you go through something like that and you kind of forget, like you get low, you get deep, and you kind of forget for a while what happiness is like, what life feels like. But see, she's providing this level of hope, okay? When we get into Tiger JK's lyrics, there's a couple things that hit you like a truck. And you see these animations, the arms coming around, the hugs, it's oh. 눈물이 차있어 갑자기 이유 없이 옛사랑에 차였던 밤하늘 바라보며 눈물을 참았던 바보같이 울지 못해 눈물을 삼켰던. See, and this, like lines like this, how I swallowed my tears not being able to cry like a fool. To me, this is like him saying, I was holding it in and I'm refusing to let it out because if I let it out, it becomes real. I'm acknowledging it. If I fight it, maybe it'll change things. You know, it's like there's a level of acceptance that has not happened yet. And I could go further into the whole, like, well, there's a masculine aspect to it where he doesn't want to cry because he's a guy. I don't know. I don't know if culturally, if that lines up like it does in the Western culture, but either way, holding that in is just not the way to go. 매일 돌아오는 새벽밤은 나의 뻔 혼자 있는 내가 외로울까 와 있어 매일 돌아오는 새벽밤은 나의 뻔 혼자 우는 내가 외로울까 와 있어 너 없는 여기에는 시간도 멈춰 있어. Right there. You remember what this is? It's so good that they did this. Remember, this is the exact time that Tiger lost his grandmother. And he wrote a song that we watched, 8:45. Oh, so powerful. So simple, but so powerful. Not the song, the video. 8:45. But you notice what they do here. Everything stops. He literally says in the line, Bizzy does, this place without you has stopped in time. Listen and watch when the 8:45 comes. Literally a moment stopped in time, and there's nothing. There's nothing but that right there. And then we move on. Well, that pause and us moving on from it is also subtextual to the fact that through this song, they make references to, it's hard for us to accept the fact when we go through this that life goes on. And when you're in this, it kind of pisses you off. Now, I don't want to speak for you, okay? Because like I can't put my experience into your mouth. But when you go through this, when I went through this, I was furious for a while because like people don't understand what I'm like, what you forget that people experience pain like this and you start to become really resentful. It's a hard thing to deal with, and it's a hard thing to navigate through. And they name it multiple times through the song that it's so brilliant how they do this. There's all these layers that they hit on lyrically and through some of the animations, but they always kind of tie it together. So rather than me just ramble about my own experience, let me show you what I think are the landmarks of this song that almost all of us that have experienced this can latch onto and go, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now this right here was one of the trucks. The mug cup you worked so hard to make for me has shattered. A piece of it got stuck in my hand and I'm bleeding, but why am I blaming you? Yeah, this is personal, right? Like you can feel this moment. And not to mention, you can kind of feel if I lost, you know, like I lost my dad, if I had something that he made for me and it broke and it shattered, I would be devastated. That is another layer of that type of pain because you can't get it back. But it's also metaphorical in the fact that lose my dad, I can't get him back, right? So this is what we end up with. This type of subtext is so beautifully woven through all of this. Oh, I love this part. In the tub, the hand's coming up. At one point, the hand holds the tub. And this is the line this is one of the lines I was talking about. It's a cold, cold world out there. And sometimes I feel as if nobody cares. And that's what I mean. It's like you go through this and yet other people, some people that are close to you, they're still going out and having fun. They're doing this. And you start to resent them for carrying on with their life. Right? And it feels like nobody cares. It's not the case. It's not true.
Sometimes I feel as if nobody cares. I'm down, down, down. Can somebody save me now?
Love that.
It's a cold, cold world out there. Sometimes I feel as if nobody cares. I'm down, down, down. Can somebody save me?
Now you see her, the voice is still beautiful. It's still hopeful. The facial expression of her is still, it's not happy. It's hopeful. It's at peace. The lighting on her stays steady. It doesn't get dark and cinematic. She always comes back to this point of hope for us. I wasn't quite sure what these animations were representing, but I'm starting to think they represent emotions. You know, maybe one is anger, maybe one's grief, maybe one is hope. You know? Yeah.
혼자 있는 내가 외로울까 날 비춰 해주면 새내린 하루 위로 날개쳐
When the sun rises, the birds fly to the sky.
가끔 새들도
Sometimes even the birds have no choice but to fly. Sometimes the only choice you have is just to be strong and get up and get moving. That's the only choice you got. That's it.
할 수 없이 날겠지. 가끔 나도 몰라 내가 뭐
I love this line too because he goes from, it makes sense to me, and he's talking about he goes from the sun rises, that's my companion, I never feel lonely because it's there, and the birds have no choice but to fly, right into, sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. This to me, if you've ever written anything, like you've written a song, written a poem, sometimes this word vomit just comes out because you're just kind of going, you're processing through creation. And this is I don't even know what I'm saying. And that becomes part of the process. You just keep going. Someone somewhere will know my heart. That's another landmark of this. That's another reason why it's so important for people to put things like this in art, to use art to express these types of things, because some people are transmitters, some people are receivers. Now that role can always go back and forth, but this relation that we feel with things like this is huge because, as a lot of you have said, it reminds you that you're not alone. Someone somewhere will know my heart. I'm just going to say this, and it might not make sense, but if it does, and it makes sense to you, then that just created something really, really crucial for somebody.
내 맘을 알겠지. 매일 돌아오는 아침에는 날 비춰줘. Yeah, I gotta get up to stand up. 매일 돌아오는 아침에는 날 벗. 혼자 우는 내가 외로울까 날 비춰. 너를 만나기 전으로 돌아가고파. 모든 게
Look at that. How strong, how powerful that is.
행복했던 내가 아주 어릴 적 너를 떠나보낸 이유를 아직 넌 모르지. 걷는 것도 힘든 나를 넌 알고 있는지. 너를 찾아가 저 지구 반대편도 멀지 않아 멋지 않아. 나는 널
It's a
갖겠죠.
cold, cold world out there. Sometimes I feel as if nobody cares.
That right there, that got me.
I'm down, down, down. Can somebody save me?
See, and now we start to go to these animations of growth, of life coming up. We've got vines that go to the ceiling later. We've got the flower right here.
Now, it's a cold, cold world out there. Sometimes I feel as if nobody
This is another way that they're saying that life goes on. Life continues.
cares. I'm down, down, down. Can somebody save me now? 힘들어도 I gotta get up.
Gotta get up now.
Don't give up now.
슬픈 내 맘도 언젠간 웃게 될 거야. Yeah.
힘들어도 I gotta get up.
Gotta get up now.
Don't give up now.
슬픈 내 맘도 이제
Look at that. To end this with the laugh of a child is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Gotta get up now.
Don't give up now.
슬픈 내 맘도 이제
Oh, it's so good.
웃게 될 거야.
I loved that. I feel like that was the perfect amount of acceptance, traversing difficulty, and hope. I think that was really, really brilliant. I loved that. And I don't know if this is right or not, but I just want to say, I wonder if the parts that Tiger wrote were personal to him, and the parts that Bizzy wrote were personal to him? I would be curious. I don't know. We'll never get an answer for that, but I don't know. Just popped in my head. And whoever it was that said, who was that? Moss Garden. I see you. It makes you feel slightly better about the nonsense lyrics that you write. I'm assuming you were talking about when Tiger said, sometimes I don't know what I'm saying, right? You just start to kind of word vomit out there. You start to just process through creation. There's really, like, it's nothing but a benefit for you to process however you process. Like, that's, as people, like, we kind of have to do that. If we don't, then other problems come up. You got to have a way to structure things, how to work through things, how to traverse things. You know, we did that 101 recently with Christian Yu, DPR Ian, and watching him put his art together in what I theorize is a way for him to structure this absolute chaos that he experiences. He is trying to make sense of it, is my theory. Well, if you write poetry or you write songs or even just instrumental music with no words, if you paint, if you draw, you sketch, any number of things, if you make cabinets or woodworking, all of those things are ways to build a structure to help you navigate through difficulty. All of it. But there's a catch to it. And the catch is, as you make progress through that difficulty, you have to keep going. That is the catch. And a lot of people miss that catch. You got to keep going. You have to push through and not get stuck in that circle of darkness. Yeah. Whew.